Guys, are you tired of that hairline creeping a little further back each time you look in the mirror? Well, fear not, because Keeps has got you covered. Keeps is an online subscription service, making it easier and more affordable than ever for men to tackle male pattern baldness right from the comfort of home. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just looking to take better care of the hair you have, Keeps has what you need. Keeps offers clinically proven treatments, including not one, but 2 FDA-approved options, plus a convenient 2-in-1 combo treatment. With nearly 1 million satisfied customers and over 5,000 glowing 5-star reviews, Keeps is the name you can trust when it comes to keeping your hair. So why wait? Say goodbye to hair loss frustration and hello to a summer of confidence. Head over to keeps.com/Chael Sonnen or click on the link in the description to snag a special offer. That's KEEPS.com/Chael Sonnen or just click on the link below. Do you think Conor McGregor ever planned to fight? Think he ever planned to fight Michael Chandler? Now, I have made good with Vitor Belfort. By the way, if you follow my career and you've seen some guys I've given bumps to, somewhere along the way, Vitor got in that mix, which is not my current situation, in fairness, but I have accused Vitor of this. And the only difference would be, what did he know and when did he know it, right? Like what I'm accusing of is exactly the actions that took place. But the violation would only be if he knew that ahead of time. And there's a number of things like that in life, and therein lies the complication, right? Like, this girl can kiss that guy. That isn't a problem. That's not, until you had the conversation with her where she's your girl, right? She kissed him a week before that conversation. It's very different. And the reason I'm telling you that, Vitor was a master. He would take a fight. Now, I'm claiming, my claim is that he knew he was never going to do. In fairness, I don't actually know these things. But this is what I would accuse him of, and I want to speak and be able to make my point freely here, which is he would take a fight that he never planned to do, that he knew he wasn't going to go out there. He knew about an injury that he kept to himself. He knew he wasn't going to do it, and he would let that spot get taken. He would let the excitement, he was one of the biggest names. He would let the billboards get put up before he made the phone call that said, I can't do the fight. And this had happened a number of times. And it was like stepping on the rake and having the wood hit him. And I'd look around and go, did you not know that was going to happen? Did you not at least think that was going to happen? Being that that's happened to you so many times, do you at least think you put him on the card, but you don't put him in one of the feature spots, which automatically activates an arm of PR and marketing that's going to cost millions of dollars? Like, do everything you're doing, put up the same billboards, just don't put his face on it. Like, has this ever crossed anybody's mind? And I only share with you when you hear the question, did Conor ever think he was going to fight Chandler? Was he just having this fun? Did he not believe it? Like history sure would point in a direction that he did anything he could do to not get the fight. There was a time last year that was days which turned to weeks, which turned to months, and plural, several, where there was no chance of this fight happening, right? There was an order. You could not get to second base until you got past first. Couldn't happen. Against the rules. And in that case, first was to enter what was known as an Usada testing pool, which is done on an app on one's phone. Quickly. By dum-dums. Fighters, right? 768 dum-dums, fighters, do this every single day. And so I only say that as, okay, we knew we weren't trying to get to second or third. We knew that. Because we all knew the rule, which is you have to get to first. There's no point in asking Conor, are you in training camp? How are you feeling? Is the leg back healed when you're in the gym? Like, there's no point in asking those questions because that would represent a second and or a third base. And we know we're not yet to first. What weight class? What's the venue? What's the card placement? None of those things could captivate a headline because you couldn't get the audience there You couldn't get the audience to, okay, it's being 170 pounds. You couldn't get them there if they were armed with the fact that we hadn't yet got to first, which could be done press of your thumb on an app on your phone. So when that finally gets cleared up, when all of that gets cleared up, it's now a matter of when. And I thought Conor showed a real sincerity in his desire to do this when he went out and he started making the announcements. When Conor announced it's going to be me and Michael, when Conor announced it's going to be an international fight, when Conor announced the venue, when Conor announced the date of June 29th, none of that was real in terms of those phone calls had never taken place. Those agreements were not in place. Those contracts not only were not signed, they hadn't even been written yet. But Conor wanted it so bad, and he was so sincere that he knew if he went out and told the public this, it would be more than they would want to unwind. And I think that speaks to a sincerity, right? I think that speaks to a real, hey, Conor's the real deal. Hey, this guy really loves this. He really cares about it. He didn't go out and pull a spoof for the movie. He didn't go pull a spoof for the club that's paying him to be there. He didn't pull a spoof on his own whiskey brand. He pulled a spoof to get himself a fight, and he pulled a spoof knowing that if it was believed, it would come to fruition. It was a gamble, and he was right. But he deserves to be recognized as a competitor who wanted to compete for doing that. So when I'm asked the question, did Conor ever plan to fight Michael Chandler? And I give the example of my new friend and old nemesis. So I give the example of Vitor Belfort, who many times agreed to fight, where I would say, I would look at it. Vitor is my mother's favorite fighter. I would tell her, don't get excited. He's not going to do it. But coincidentally, the billboards all went out before the phone call came in. And I'm giving you guys that example because that is the opposite of what's happening here. Like when I hear the idea that, oh, Conor never planned to fight. When I hear that idea, like, okay, hard to deal with since you're dealing with a mindset, but you do have clues. And the other fighters who have done go up to the 11th hour because of the media, because of the press. There's a way to agree to a fight, skip a fight, and have your brand grow. But you got to get the billboards up. So for Conor to step in front of this thing prior to the press and cancel all future press, that's one of the keys here. And the reason we got to keep driving that nail is we don't have an answer to it. I have heard the media relentlessly a year ago tell us McGregor is going to fight Chandler. Relentlessly. It was headlines. They put it everywhere. And I never know if they're just trying to get clicks. Like I don't actually know. But I would challenge the media, because I'm not in the room, I would challenge them to ask the most basic of questions, such as, well, if they're going to fight, if all of these things you're promising are true, what weight class are they going to fight at? It's a very, very simple but important question, because if you don't have it, you're not to the venue stage. You're not to the announcement stage. You're not to the on sale for ticket stage. You're not down to the countdown. If you don't have a weight class, it'd be the first thing that you do. And we couldn't get the media to do it, which is why we had to live in this vortex of hearing about Conor versus Chandler for so incredibly long. Because they didn't ask the most simple question. And when we are going down the road that it's going to be Conor and Chandler, which it is, fully believe that. I don't see any way out here. Not to mention, I would put Conor in the category as the organization's most reliable guy. He wasn't more reliable than I was, in all fairness, but he's tied. I wasn't ahead of him. Grand total of 0 opportunities passed up on. A grand total of no to any opponent at any weight class at any time. Has never been said this would be a first, and I just don't think that he's going to take it. Not to mention, he missed out on a lot of fun. A press conference is a wildly fun thing to do. You get all those emotions of a fight, but there's no chance that you leave bruised. You get that same crowd and that same reaction. And if we're going to go down the road that he's going to show up, which is the road I'm on, I'm telling you, he is. I'm telling you right here now that nothing has changed. I still need to be able to answer one simple question from other media sources, which is, why did he cancel media? Not that day. You could be stuck in traffic and miss a press conference that's scheduled for an exact time. You could. Why, when you cancel that, did you cancel all media leading up to the fight? And moreover, when we're being told this piece of information, but we don't have a back and forth with anybody, it's just speculative. Did he cancel all media? Is there a media member saying, I had an interview with him and I was called and it has been canceled? Has Conor said, I have contacted my partners in the media and I have canceled? Is that even an accurate piece of the story? And while we don't have that, I will maintain it is a simple and basic question, much like what weight class are they going to fight at? It is a simple question that should be the first one asked, but the MMA media has not asked it yet.